So this should be the second video you are viewing for your booklet, and we will be talking about reflections here. So reflection is a transformation that uses a line, so we want to highlight uses a line like a mirror to reflect an image. So the main detail that is given in a reflection is going to be that line. We will call that line the line of reflection. So as you can see, my smiley face has been reflected over the x-axis. So think of it as like a flip or a fold. And so that would be our line of reflection. So first we're going to look into reflecting in the x-axis here. It says if xy is reflected in the x-axis, its image is the point x, negative y, or you can think of that as opposite of y. So when we see any negative variable, that means we're going to change the sign. So it does not mean that the value will always be negative, but that we're going to change the sign. So for triangle TRY, I'm first going to write down the ordered pairs of the original points. So it looks like T is at -1 and then +2. R is at 3, 4, so +3, +4. And Y is 2, 2. So the rule that I'm going to apply, so remember we have coordinate rules, is I'm going to change the sign of the y value only. And actually x is going to remain the same, so there's going to be no change to that number. So just copying down the rule I'm using, x opposite of y, or negative y, point T prime would become, so -1 will stay the same, those are my x's, and then all of my y's are going to change sign. So -1, -2, R prime is 3, staying the same, changing the sign of y to -4, and y prime is 2, staying the same, and -2 to change the sign of y. To plot where that would end up, -1, -2 is here for T prime, 3, -4 for R prime, and 2, -2 for Y prime. And so we do have the triangle flipping over the x-axis here, right there. All right, let's see another one. Now we're going to have a reflection in the y-axis. If xy is reflected in the y-axis, its image is the point -xy. Now again, we want to think of that -x as a change of sign, opposite of x. I am using the same points, so I'm just going to copy those down from my first example. And now I'm going to be applying the rule opposite of x, y. So change the sign of x, no change to y. That would make T prime +1, 2. So change the sign of x, no change to y. R prime -3, 4. and y prime negative 2, 2. So t at 1, 2, what do we hear? T prime. R prime negative 3, 4. And y 2, negative 2, 2. And you can see I have reflected my triangle over the y-axis here. Okay, we have 2 more, and I am going to do both of these examples because they are different. So again, we're going to be reflecting our same triangle TRY. This time in the line y equals x. I want to make sure you see that means equals. So the line y equals x is a diagonal line that is going up. So to go diagonal, I want to start at 0, 0. I want to go diagonal, diagonal, diagonal. So up 1, right 1, all the way. And then I can go backwards. So this is the line y equals x. Now, the reflecting over this line does give us a rule, yx, and so what you should notice is that we have switched positions. Just try to squeeze that in there. Switch positions, or maybe just write switch of x and y. So that is what is happening. Those two are switching. So we'll rewrite our original points again. Negative 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2, 2. And so we're going to be switching x and y around, all my x's, all of my y's. So that would be 2, negative 1 for t prime, 4, 3 for r prime, and for y prime, 2, 2. So it's actually going to stay the same. So for that y prime, I'm going to relabel the same point y and y prime. Okay, then I'm going to go 2, negative 1 for t prime. So yes, I can see it's flipped over that line. And then 4, 3 for r prime. And it's a little bit jumbled. Maybe let me grab a different color here. That is my triangle reflected over the line y equals x. And now we have one final example. This is a reflection in the line y equals negative x. Now this is a diagonal line. However, it is going down. And when we say down, in algebra and math, we mean from left to right. So I'm going to start at 0, 0 again, and now I'm going to go diagonally down. So down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1, continue in the opposite direction, and very carefully draw my diagonal line y equals negative x. Okay, so we happen to have a rule for this one. If xy is reflected in the line y equals negative x, its image is the point opposite of y, opposite of x. So this time I have two changes happening. I am going to switch the position and the sign of both of the variables. Switch position and sign. Actually, I think I would like to change that word switch to change. I'm changing the position and the sign. Okay, so again, writing down our points, same points for each example. This time I'm going to take my y, change the sign, take my x, change the sign. So my y here, 2, I'm going to change the sign to -2, write it first, and then my x here, -1, I'm going to change the sign, write it second. So I'm just going to keep doing that all the way down. So y, change the sign, x, change the sign. Y, change the sign, x, change the sign. So I end up at -2, +1, there, -4, -3, there, and -2, -2. And I can see that my triangle did flip over that diagonal line which goes down. Thank you for watching this video, and we will conclude with rotations next.